Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm here, right? Man, here in Texas, there was a fog over the city from all the fireworks that were illegally popped in the city, you know? Oh well, as long as my house didn't get set on fire, it was a nice show put on by the public. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad that Biden's inflation didn't affect the sale of fireworks. For Christmas, my niece had gotten like a whittling kit, right? She's pretty artistic, so I think my sister got her that, I don't know, for another creative outlet other than her being on her iPad drawing or whatever digitally. But man, my niece has already cut both of her thumbs from trying to whittle, and shit just bled everywhere. I mean, she's not even that at that emo age yet where she should be cutting herself. No, I think she's just learning the hard way how to whittle, and yeah, I think I'd rather just download her a whittling app if that exists. You know, what am I saying? Of course that exists. There's a fucking app for everything. I saw on Twitter some quick video of looked like a science lab that was like 3D printing meat, and you would put it like how much fat, how much meat ratio and shit, and it would just 3D print a steak to your exact specifications. I imagine this technology is going to cross over to like the trans community for printing up penises and breasts and other body parts that other people have that other people want. I could say that technology would easily transition for that use. Look, I'm tired, okay? Like, I think this medication has like side effects that not only does it make me tired, but I've been shedding out liquid, which she's like, I'm pissing yellow and then I'm shedding yellow piss. No, I'm burning the wick at both ends, I guess. That's as they say. And man, my stomach is just nasty rumbling too. I swear to God, all I've been eating is just breakfast in the morning, which is like bacon and egg tacos, some cheese. I drink maybe 1 Celsius energy drink. Make sure it's not carbonated, because I just don't drink carbonated drinks anymore. Still burp like a fucking sailor, but yeah, I don't drink anything carbonated. And yeah, that's that Lorenzo diet. that's the true man's diet. None of this carnivore shit that's supposed to get you sued like the Liver King or whatever. None of this vegan shit that shrinks your brain and turns you into, I don't know, a Kyle or a Karen. Is that what? I don't know. Let's talk about that name for a bit, Karen. Like, who the fuck, as a parent, when your daughter is born, you look at your newborn child like in your arms and you say, my child is so beautiful what I've created. I'm naming her Karen. Like, you're giving her a name that basically ages her immediately to 40 years old. I don't think I've ever met a kid named Karen. They're just immediately, at that age of 40 to 45 or whatever, right under 50, complaining to see the manager, right? Speaking of Andrew Tate, now I know we weren't speaking of him, but from what I was hearing, right, from a little birdie told me, and about his charges that happened for him human trafficking. The story I'm like piecing together is that an American girl that was hanging out with him, Andrew Tate, just went with him, right, like just to be with him because he's that dude, I guess, the girls want to be with, supposedly. And she had a boyfriend who called her up where he was at. Like, the boyfriend was like, hey, like, where are you? Why are you with Andrew Tate? You're my girlfriend. You need to leave there. And the girl, probably being like a stupid girl, right, was like, oh, well, I can't leave. He won't let me leave. Basically lying to make it seem like, like she wasn't under control or it wasn't her fault, but she could just do whatever she wanted. So that jealous dude, right, that's all butthurt because this girl doesn't want to leave Andrew Tate, calls the U.S. Embassy and tells them that she's being held against her will. That's why, like, these so-called charges of fucking human trafficking came from. And shit, I kind of actually believe this story. One, because, I'm a mentally ill, unstable person, so, I don't really care. It's like whatever. And two, I could see a woman lying about shit like that to her so-called dude, to not hurt his feelings, and then all this shit goes down like ridiculous charges and shit just because people are jealous or insecure or whatever the fuck this is, And hey, if Andrew Tate is guilty of that, right, let's say he is, of course, shame on him. Shame, shame, shame. But, I mean, he was free after a day or two, so I think if that country had actual real charges, he would still be arrested and people would be talking way more about it instead of kind of going quiet about it and telling Greta Thunberg, oh wow, you're a great person, LOL, you recycle pizza boxes or whatever, you know. Like everyone kind of got radio silent about that shit. And I guess I'm on Andrew Tate's side because I think he's hilarious. Like if a man is legit the way he is, I don't know, man. I feel bad, not for him because it's his gimmick, you know, he's living it or whatever, but for his actual followers who buy into that whole persona that he is, where he has supposedly a whole collection of Bugattis or Cuban cigars or chess playing with butt plugs or whatever the fuck, you know. I don't know. I think it trips me out more when people take other people so seriously, you know. Like any type of idolizing is strange to me. I feel like people like Andrew Tate or even Greta Thunberg, right? Both feeling so high and mighty, like, oh, I need to be listened. You need to listen to me. I'm more important than the next person. But people like that need to be like knocked down every once in a while, you know. And as humans, I think we like to pick the sides of our gods and watch them fight against each other, right? Don't we? But yeah, Twitter is hilarious. I'm like so glad Elon Musk lost all this money just to buy it and forget about whatever his underground railroads and rockets and Tesla and flamethrowers and burnt hair cologne or whatever. It's so fucking great. I love Twitter. Oh yeah. Did you see in New York there were like 3 officers hurt in an attack from a man wielding a machete? Or do you pronounce it machete? Remember that movie with Danny Trejo? The living cigar Indian? Yeah, I remember watching that movie, really wanting it to be good. I mean, it was alright. It was being campy and shit. But what cracked me up is you could tell when Danny Trejo was walking with his old man limping, and then you could tell when it was a young stunt man doing the flips and breaking through glass and jumping through fire and shit. You know, I don't know. Maybe that was the whole point, right? For it knowing it was over the top of a movie and whatnot. Do you remember Danny Trejo's part in Breaking Bad where he plays that informant named Tortuga, which is Spanish for turtle? There's a little knowledge for you. And when, spoiler alert, right, he gets killed and the cartel leaves his severed head on top of a turtle. And when the DA sees it, they're all cracking up. And Hank's there. He's all sick from seeing that severed head. And they're like all laughing. They're like, welcome to Mexico or whatever the fuck they say. And they pick up the head from the turtle and a fucking bomb goes off. And all the agents, they're all fucked up. And one's leg is blown right off. And Hank is shivering and all rowdy on adrenaline like he just went through war. And he takes off his belt and puts it on that dude's leg stub to stop the bleeding. Do you remember that part? Do you? No? Do you remember the part in the movie Desperado where Antonio Banderas is having the final battle and he calls his brothers, and there's that one brother who carries 2 guitar cases and they're both like automatic machine guns, and the other brother that has to do this weird leg thing pose, and that motherfucker shoots rockets out of his guitar. He has like a rocket launcher guitar case. Man, the way that guy poses is hilarious. Like, just look up the final battle scene from the movie Desperado. I'm talking about Desperado because I'm pretty sure Danny Trejo was in that movie too. So yeah, that is kind of a segue, I guess. Also, Salma Hayek is in that movie, and dude, she's still just looking so fucking hot. Like that's a fucking woman I'd learn to play guitar for, to get into that perfectly tanned skin. Yum, 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 yum. Dude, it's crazy to think racism was like not too long ago, huh? Like having separate water fountains for different races. That's crazy, right? Oh, that's so fucking crazy. True story. Years ago when I worked at the grocery store, right, but at a different location, we had a coworker there was dating like another coworker chick in a different department, right? Well, he was dating her, and he was getting like her titty pic sent to her, and he's showing all of us coworkers her titty pics, like, man, check out her huge ass titties, you know, pretty girl, but those tits were huge sweater cows, right? Well, eventually he ends up actually marrying that woman, and it's like, oh shit, like that's your wife now that you have like children with, and all your buddies, us, know what her tits look like because you showed us her tits. I guess the moral of the story is be careful who you show your girl's titty pics to, because if you end up with her, other people are going to know how your wife's titties look. And yeah, that kind of makes things awkward, I guess, you know, or better. I don't know. However you want to look at it. Maybe it brings all your friends closer together, right? So that's a good thing. Friendship is powerful. If anything I learned from My Little Pony, friendship is very powerful. Anyway, yeah, that's it for today. Tell me what your favorite Danny Trejo movie is, cause yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. Like, I can admit though, I've never seen Spy Kids. I know he's in that too, and yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't look cool. I don't get the hype for it. And tell me all your hate for Andrew Tate, cause yeah, that's just his character, man. He loves the hate he gets. He's playing the heel character so fucking well that this hate is what like keeps him going, you know. It's just like my mom. The hate fuels him. It keeps him alive, you know. And yeah, what do you think about separating water fountains by race? I don't know. I actually think that sounds nice. Like, I'd like to know that only my race was using a specific water fountain. I mean, if they're exactly the same fountain but just separated, you know, what's so bad about it? Sounds equal to me. Hey, right? You know, and that's what we're kind of looking for here. Anyways, yeah, thanks again for being here, and I hope y'all are staying safe from the Matrix, or staying safe from inside the Matrix. Staying safe inside the Matrix. I don't know, whichever one it is. I hope y'all are safe. Yeah, take care and bye.